talked about India and Ahmedabad as we are talking in this physical research laboratory. I would like to ask, India has a very much rich legacy in astronomy, particularly observational physics as well, observational astronomy as well. So, how do you see India's contribution to the world in ancient times as well as in current times?
So, okay, at the beginning, just after the discovery of 95, of 50, because we have some tension between some colleague in US. So it's a part of the ego of people. It was we feel a relatively strong competition. Today it's no more the case. We have more than 5,000. So we will not fight between us if you have one, and so on. So, and you have so many questions to find, because what we have discovered during the last 25 years is that the huge diversity of planetary systems, they are not similar to our own solar system. Some of them, yes, but you have many planetary systems very different. So it's interesting to first have to understand the formation of our own planetary system.
Yeah.
And evidently, again, this opened the field of the search for life in the universe. Yeah. I don't know. Don't ask me when we will have the answer. Or I don't know. It's a very complicated matter, but it's very interesting, because what is behind? It's a philosophical point. Okay, are we alone in terms of species, of form of life, alone in the universe, or is life, I would say, a normal process? Yeah. So when you have some good condition, okay, not on every planet, but on some of them, if you have the good condition, is life suitable to appear? Okay. Nobody knows. So this is a work for the next generation.
But my question is also that we also assume, or we know, we hypothesize, as so many hypotheses are there. So, is it really compulsory or necessary that only silicon-based or carbon-based life forms can be there? Is our understanding of life is really very much constrained by this thought, or can there be any another form of life which we might not have defined, but it is there? We might be still looking at there, but we are not able to recognize. What's your take on that?
First, we can notice that if we detect life in other parts, it will not be similar in detail. Yeah. Already on the Earth, when you are there in the very deep ocean, you have strange form of life. If you are in the desert, you have something different. If you are going in the forest, it's different. So the diversity of life is evident, and even more if you are on another exoplanet. So regarding now the problem of the carbon chemical development. Carbon is a very strange, very favorable element. It's the only element suitable to form long chain of atoms. We don't have other chemical composition. And one of the most significant features of life is the need to transfer the information who you live to your daughter, and then to the granddaughter, and so on and so on. So you have a flux of information, and do you have another explanation except this long chain of atoms? We don't have any. A lot of people have tried to dream to the different possibilities. I believe nothing was proposed to be convincing. So for me, it's not a restriction of the mind to say we are looking for carbon chemistry, because I believe it's mandatory. It's exactly like we are searching to detect exoplanet, rocky exoplanet, with a distance of the star such that the temperature is adequate for liquid water. So say, why are you doing this? On the Earth, because you have some liquid water. No, it's more fundamental than this. Liquid water, the water is a chemical solvent absolutely fantastic. So to facilitate the chemical reaction. And the second very, very important one is that when you have DNA, if you eat the DNA to above 100 something degree, it is broken.
Yeah.
It's what everybody done when you sterilize some aliments. When you cook aliments, you kill the bacteria, you kill the change, the transmission of this information. If you put this food in the fridge at minus 20 or something like that, the chemistry is so slow that nothing interesting happens. So the dream to search rocky planet with liquid water is simply made due to the constraint coming from physics and chemistry. It's not, so I do not pretend that we cannot find different process. But up to now we have one good process. Okay, first try to explore this.
Okay, I would like to ask you that in our discovery of like more than 5,000 exoplanets, there are also several thousand planetary systems as well. So we hear about TRAPPIST system, Gliese and Kepler, different. So which of them fascinates you right now? Which you think we should focus on the systems or this planets or this area more in depth so that we can get more about it?
I will not answer correctly to your question. I believe my favorite planet is the Earth.
Okay.
Because life is nice, we have everything, and okay, personally is the planet I love the most. So if I answer to your question, what is the most important planet to do presently some experiment? It's evident that TRAPPIST system with several planets, or 3 maybe in the habitable zone, is a very high priority object. Because you have 3 planets with maybe the good temperature. But this 3 planets orbit in the habitable zone of, but is a so small star, so inefficient nuclear reaction, that the habitable zone is very close. And we know that this kind of star could have very big flux of energetic particles. So I'm not sure that is a good place to go to take holidays.
Okay.
So okay, we have to do the experiment. And I'm sure that James Webb and other big telescopes will try to find if you have some what is called biomarker, anomalies in the spectra saying, oh, maybe life exists. Okay, it's certain we have to do it, but I'm not sure this will be the good answer. I mean, my always answer to this question, Epicurus mentioned that some of this world could have living species more than 2,000 years ago. We can wait 20 years. Why we can dream to have the answer next year? No. It's a very complicated story, very complicated domain. So if we need 20 years to do it, or maybe 30 years, okay.
So also you're, as you're seeing, we're looking into the exoplanets, other planets outside solar system. We've also started to looking at like very different climate systems as well.
Oh, yes.
Like a new era, new door that has opened. So what's your take about it?
Oh, presently in Geneva, we have a group of people working in the observatory has founded what is called CVU. It's a Center for the Life in the Universe in French. And you have many different chemists, biologists, and so on, and people doing climatology. And it's so complicated. So sometimes, with exactly the same condition, apparent condition, you can develop a climate like this, or something completely different if you change a small thing. So it's very interesting to see that the different possibilities, branches that you can, and in some sense it could be also a little bit frightening, because if you are playing too much with the carbon dioxide on ourselves, are we sure that we will not go through a path not wanted? You see, the Venus,
Yeah.
it's a companion planet of the Earth, rocky planet, but it's so huge, atmosphere, so blocking light, so the temperature is awful at the top. Okay, so I believe we have to be a little bit cautious on this matter. I don't want to be cooked.
Yeah. So also now comes to, I think, most repeating question you might be answering about your Nobel Prize moment. I kept on seeing your picture, looking at the emails you were getting in at the airport of Spain. Spain airport?
Yes.
Yeah. So what exactly were your feelings while looking at that? What you were thinking, or if you can recall that moment, because that photograph is really widely seen.
No. I was in San Sebastian in Spain to do babysitting.
Okay.
Because my son and his wife was invited for a wedding party, and they have 2 kids, very small, and evidently it was not convenient to have these kids to the whole night in the wedding party. So they asked us if with my wife we can go and take care of these 2 boys. And so we were there. And when we left San Sebastian to take the bus to go to the airport, it was 11:45. And I said, oh, I would like just to learn what they are saying in Stockholm. And it was exactly the beginning of the session where the secretary of the Academy of Science said, today the Nobel Prize will be awarded to people having contributed to knowledge of the cosmos. Say, oh, interesting, this is. And I say, the professor Jim Peebles, having done a huge contribution to cosmology, so I say, oh, again, cosmology, because they already received a lot of. And then he says the second part will be devoted to exoplanet, and so on. And it was the time to leave to the airport.
So you didn't stop to even listen to your neighbors. So, okay.
And when we are, after they tried to contact me in the underground bus station, it was so noisy, it was impossible. And then after I say, oh, if you want, we can have a contact to the bar of the airport. And the picture, when I was on my computer like this, it was taken by my wife.
Okay.
So, and it was completely crazy, because the computer was saying cling, cling, cling. Every few seconds you receive an email. Friends and family.
So what was the reaction of your wife? Did she understand your work from beginning, or she is a non-science person? And what was her reaction? I would like to know if you can share.
Evidently, she was very happy, but she don't like me. We don't jump.
Okay.
Okay, we are very happy, but okay. It was a beautiful recognition for what we did, but okay, we are not maybe demonstrative. My daughter-in-law in Norway was really more affected than me. No, I was, and after, when we went in December to receive the prize, because the announcement is made in October, but the prize is given the 10th of December. Why? Because the date of the death of Nobel. And so every year it is given exactly at the date. So, and it was not only festivity or celebration during one day, but 10 days. Incredible. Okay. So it was, this is, okay, evidently a nice memory.
So like very, very few people get Nobel in this earth. So, like you were just professor, maybe you were a scientist in Geneva. You got awards before that also. But how it's being different as a Nobel laureate? How world sees you differently, and how you see the world differently? If you can be more candid about it, then you can say.
Yes, it's evident that we have some immediately some closer relationship with the government. Sometimes we are invited to discuss something like that. But I believe we have to be a little bit cautious because we receive a lot of questions. Do you want to join us in the data? So a lot of people try to ask or support. Okay, sometimes I'm very happy to do it, but sometimes we feel not so comfortable. So okay, we have to be a little bit careful. And evidently we have a duty, I would say, but at least what I feel myself, to contribute to outreach activities. So we need to use this label Nobel to give conference, course, and so on in school in different places. I believe it's and here you have seen the auditorium was full of people, a large number of questions after and so on. So I believe this is, I'm not obliged. I'm a retired professor, but I believe we must do it.
Okay.
And I participate sometimes at some festival. One is called Starmus Festival. It's the sixth, I believe it's the sixth of the series. And the next one will be in Bratislava, in Slovakia. And at this, it's a mix of science and music.
Okay.
So in the previous one in Armenia, you have every afternoon between 6,000 and 8,000 people. Let's imagine, to teach science, not only astronomy, biology, economy, physics, and so on, by 6,000 to 8,000 people. And evidently after the music. I don't know if the name of Brian May is something for you. He's the famous guitarist of the group Queen. Okay. And this is one of the organizers of this.
So Professor Michel, just want to ask, when you're not doing science, what do you generally, like, apart from telescopes and observatories and conferences and lectures, would you like to do, what you do generally? Okay. As Professor Brian, you say he plays guitar.
Okay. When I was younger,
yeah,
I was doing quite a lot of climbing, rock climbing in the Alps and so on. So today I start to be a little bit older to do this. So what I'm doing is a lot of hiking in the Alps. So several hours from one place to another one with my wife. So this is beautiful to be in nature. And so this and except this, what everybody do, read books.
So is there any dream place for you to go for hiking or something you're planning this year or maybe upcoming years? Like, we shall go over here?
No, okay. I'd like very much to do discovery travel.
Okay.
So next 2 weeks we will turn around the Gujarat.
Okay.
And spending quite a lot of time in national park to look animals. For me, spend 3 days just looking to find the lion of Asia or other things. For me, it's certainly one of the most exciting part of my life. And you can do it in many places in the world. A few years ago, I went to the Madhya Pradesh. Okay. They have also tiger reserve. Free in the, it's not in zoo, it's free in the forest. And so it's beautiful. So it's the reason why I say the most beautiful planet is yours.
Yeah, and I'll talk about food also. So you've been to India also. So if you can, you tasted lots of Gujarati food right now in these days, maybe. So what Indian food or Indian cuisine you like most, or something that you want to cherish again?
I like very much Indian food, except maybe if it's too spicy. We are not trained to have so spicy food, but except this is a beautiful food. And apparently Gujarat food is renowned.
Okay.
So we'll see.
And Professor Michel, what advice you will give to young astrophysicists, astronomers who are really looking at the sky and really want to do some good research? So what could be their way forward?
So the first point I would say, if you hesitate to choose as a profession to be science, I believe it's a good choice. Not specifically astronomy. You can do geophysics, you can biology, so every domain of science. It's very, you offer a very nice life. Then if they choose astronomy, they have to avoid to believe that we have answered all the important questions. Stupidity. Because today we have the question we mentioned already, do we have life in the universe? Yeah. In cosmology, you have a fantastic success, except that apparently the most important part of the matter is not known. It's called the dark matter. We are sure it's not matter like this. It's really something different. It could be different particles. Also. The universe is expanding. We know this from 1 century. And suddenly, 20 years ago, some colleague discovered that the expansion increased with time. And this was not expected. And nobody knows from what is the reason of this acceleration of the, and so on and so on. You have black hole. So, singularity of the general relativity. And today, these people discover huge black hole already existing very soon after the beginning of the expansion of the universe. Why? What are the mechanisms to form? Okay, so just to explain, we have plenty of huge questions for young people.
Yes, yes. So thank you, Professor Michel Mayo, for talking to us. It was really wonderful interviewing you, talking to you, have this dialogue, and we really went into the lots of dimension of science and culture and experiences. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you for the opportunity to be here. Merci.
Thank you, Messi. So as we conclude our interview, the Professor Michel Mayo, we are left inspired by his dedication to unraveling the mysteries of the universe. So thank you for joining in Doordarshan in this special show. Thank you.